All right, hello everyone. It is day number 463 complete. Hi there, I'm the Pathwalker. I upload daily videos on how my day went. Just here, taking it day to day, seeing if I can make each day better than the one previous. If you watched my last video, you'll know that, the time between these last two videos wasn't that much time, although I really should have been uploading this video, not one, not two, but 3 hours earlier than I did. And it's unfortunate. What was the problem? Phone time. I just get distracted by my phone. I was like, ah, man, I think it was because I'm tired too. But let's get into, with a short day and some big news. So I did do my live stream. It ended a little bit after 12. I feel like I could have ended at 11:30. I probably really just should have. I groomed, cold showered, and then I had problems with being on my phone, and here we are. I did write tomorrow's schedule, um, but yeah, we're behind. We're like 2 hours behind when we should be sleeping, and that is a problem because of what I have planned for tomorrow. So here's the breakdown, right? We woke up, we actually went to sleep last night at a decent time. We woke up okay. Went to work. I had fried rice at work. When I got back from work, oh, actually, hold on. Forgot something here. I walked the dog, and then I had to help my mom drive a car and stuff. I was tired, but I was like gonna help with that. Then I came home and it was around like 7 at that point, and I had to start my stream soon. I don't remember what I was doing, but yeah. Um, Streamed, groomed, cold shower, wrote tomorrow's schedule, and um, yeah, that's basically it. Not much to really comment on. Um, One thing of note again is like in this new role, it's the difference between the job I was doing before and a job that I'm doing now as a coach is I I'm a perfectionist. I really want to do a good job, and this is a role where like you can always spend more time doing something, and it's hard for me to manage my priorities with what I need to be doing. Um, so that's kind of like it is. I'll admit it's a little bit stressful, and I'm hoping that I'm just new to the role, so I'll find the right balance of how to get things done is what I'm really hoping for. The plan for tomorrow. Just to wake up, shower, go to work, walk the dog, see if I could vacuum my room real quick, eat a meal, work, and then Montreal flight slash drive question mark. Yes. What is this? And I didn't even write a sleep time because this is potentially going to be a strange thing. So before I get into a little bit more about that, let me quickly just comment on this. Yeah, unfortunately, I think because I'm going to sleep late tonight, I'm gonna have to go put the sleep back to red as much as I don't like doing that. It's just more realistic. Um, let me think. Dog walking, grooming is good. Oh yes, we missed on dog walking yesterday, so I'm actually gonna have to put you. I said I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna have to put it back at the blue there. As much as I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna have to, if we by the end of the month, if we've continued walking our dog, we put it back into the dark blue, and then we'll need a month of walking our dog every day until we put it back into the purple, which I feel fine with. Okay, so romantic is going into light green territory, and I'm going to explain why. It can very easily fall back, but if some of you recall a few days ago, or I don't remember how much time, week ago or so, I I ended up, um, I had that experience where I went to church and then I asked regarding a girl's. I got a girl's number. I made that decision to actually approach her, and I ended up staying. there, and eventually I got her number, and we kind of talked that we'll go rock climbing in a few weeks. And I ended up then texting her, right, 4 or 5 days later, and I kind of just said, hey, I think you're cute. Kind of like, I like the fact that you're outgoing and you like to do stuff outdoors. I was wondering if you'd like to grab coffee this weekend. This was last week, approximately a week ago from now. And she didn't reply to me. She didn't reply at all. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess she wasn't into me, and I didn't really get like she didn't show that she was that enthusiastic when we were talking, but I thought, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a shot anyways. She ended up responding about 2 days, I think, after I initially sent that text, and she said that she's, hey, sorry for the delay, I was busy with some things, and she actually said that she's in a relationship. Honestly, from my perspective, this just simplifies everything for me. Either one, she's just in a relationship and I don't want to have any part in that. She does her thing. Or two, she's not in a relationship. She just wanted to say that to make me feel better. And if that's the case, she's just not into me and that makes my life easier. Either way, I really didn't have a problem with this. Now, you might think, why is this good news? Why are you excited? Why is romantic going up when that happened there? Don't worry, I'll get to that. Now, she still said in the message that she still feels like we have common interests and that she'd still like to go climbing, which I think is a little bit strange considering she's in a relationship. So I didn't really think much of it. I said, from my perspective, look, if she ever wants to, go rock climbing, she can hit me up. If she's feeling good, we can go from there. But what is different is contrast to the way that I actually I got the opportunity to speak to this girl at church and whatnot, and we talked about things. We talked about our jobs, we talked about hobbies here and there. There wasn't really much chemistry. Like I wasn't that enthusiastic, she wasn't that enthusiastic. I don't know, and that's fine. At work, I'm a coach now, and I'm coaching people that were in my previous roles, and there's one girl in particular who was very warm to me. That's the word that I've been using a lot. That's the word that just makes sense for me to use. She kind of just, started messaging me, kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know if I wouldn't call it flirty. I'd call it more playful, warm, just, and even though our communication with each other for the most part was over text messages, there's still like video calls. This is all online because I mainly work from home. I felt chemistry. Timing with my mic dropping there. Is that a sign that I shouldn't? No, I don't. I don't think that way. But um, I felt chemistry. I felt chemistry, especially in contrast to the girl that I was talking at church to, and I liked it. Initially I saw her, I thought, she looked fine. She looked cute or whatever, but I didn't think too much. But after I actually started speaking with her and I got to see her personality more and everything, I was like, I thought she's cool. And honestly, the main thing by far, anything is I just like talking to her. Like I don't know, I liked it. Now, part of me, because of previous negative experiences I've had with women and some dating and some anxieties and everything, they still unfortunately have an effect on me today. But one effect is because I haven't felt this way in like a while, I feel like I'm jumping the gun a little bit too fast mentally and or emotionally or whatever you want to have it. Like at the end of the day, we're just being playful. There's nothing going on. But that said, and here's the big caveat to all of this, she's in Montreal. In fact, my entire training class is in Montreal when I'm in Ontario. And she out of the blue just kind of messaged, there actually is one person in my group that happens to live in Ontario, and I don't remember him saying anything, but she said told me like, "Hey, he's gonna be flying out to Montreal for our graduation, which is this Friday, which is in like 2 days from now. So you have to come too." So she was like, suggesting that. I thought, oh, okay, I'm not actually gonna go all the way to Montreal for this, but she, she was kind of like joking, whatever, but she was kind of like insisting, and then at one point, um, or not insisting, but just like really mentioning it a lot more than just like once. And then I happened to have like a video call with her during work related, coaching related actually. But as we're talking more, like again, like we just conversations just were moving really well. I don't know. I feel very comfortable with the way that I talk to this person. And, you know, she even like hinted towards the idea of like I know I asked her if she like like if she's ever like shot a gun before, and she said yeah. And then we were talking a little bit about that, and she's like, oh, but you need like a license to be able to actually go to like a shooting range and practice. And I said, oh, I had an interest in that, but I've never actually shot a gun myself. And then she offered and mentioned like, you know, even if you don't have a license, one way is you could go with someone that does have a license in Montreal. Basically, kind of like that. Anyways, I do think it's important for me to pace myself and understand and not get like super excited or anything because number one, this person lives very far away from me. Um, we work at the same company and there's problems with that. I'm kind of their coach, so there's kind of this power dynamic going on that's not, necessarily a good thing. Um, but from my perspective in all of this, I just felt really good talking to them. And the way it was going, I thought I gave it myself like 10%, 20% chance that I would actually go to Montreal. And I have two ways, options really. I could either fly there or I could drive there. Thing about flying there is it's expensive. I mean, it's like I don't know, it's a decent amount of money. And I could always drive, and I kind of like having my car, but the the thing I'm thinking of asking is I'll bring up to my boss tomorrow. I'm like, is there any way that maybe my company can pay for my flight there? And the reason why, the main reason I'd be going, of course, is to participate in the kind of like the graduation of the training class that I started coaching for the last, 2 weeks. Even though my time wasn't there long, I kind of, it's good if I'm able to actually be there, see them in person. It helps with, rapport. And if, after work's done, if people as a group, we want to go somewhere at a restaurant or what have you, it'd be really nice. Um, and I'll be honest and say, obviously, just the idea of seeing this person, this girl in person and just interacting and seeing what happens there sounds really fun. Another thing that sounds really fun for me is the fact that despite being almost 29 years old, I've never really gone on a trip by myself. I've gone to many different countries, but I was always with my parents on vacation. I've never took a flight by myself. I've never gone by myself on a road trip solo, and that was something I was planning on doing last summer, if anyone remembers, but I ended up not doing it, which I regret, but it is what it is. But the furthest I've ever gone, I think the most I've ever driven is either like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Like I've never done like a big drive and like went somewhere just by myself, slept at a hotel just by myself. It's a little embarrassing to admit because I feel like most people should have gone through an experience like this. Generally, just my style and who I am, I've never been someone that was. I like video games a lot. I like staying at home. What can I say? Um, I didn't have a part of me that really wanted to kind of reach out and explore in that sense. But part of me realizes that one, those are very memorable experiences, and a lot of stuff can happen in those. when you do those things. So another big part of why I'm interested in going is just having this new experience, not really knowing what's going to happen. I guarantee you I'm going to remember this moment. And I'm reminded of the time I was at church where I was going to leave church um, before I got that girl's number and go sleep at home. But then I thought to myself, what would I regret more? Going home to sleep and not going to church, or going to church and missing out on some sleep, whereas something could potentially happen. And it was 100% staying or not going to church that ended up being would have been the bigger regret, because I would always be wondering what would have happened if I ended up choosing to stay. And the same situation is now. You know, this weekend, what I have planned, yes, I would be missing out on my live stream, but at the end of the day, it's pretty much same old stuff, as opposed to, hey, why don't I go on a trip to Montreal, meet new people, go on my own trip, stay at a hotel by myself, um, potentially meet someone, see what can happen there. I know it's long distance and there's work complications and everything, and maybe most people listening to this, if you ever gave me advice like, don't do it, this is a terrible idea. But from my perspective, um, I don't know. I really enjoyed talking with this person and I felt good about it. And it didn't come from any sense of desperation or anything. It's not like I'm desperate for a relationship. Honestly, I wasn't really feeling that way for the most part. Something about me is that I don't really get lonely. It's a benefit that I have, I think. But I just it kind of was moving that way. I think there's a lot to kind of unpack throughout how I'm feeling and what's kind of like the way that should I, go to Montreal and I end up somehow being with this person and maybe we happen to get at a point where we're alone. I don't know what would happen. I don't know how I'd feel, you know. Am I already getting ahead of myself? What if we meet and, she just like to be kind of friendly with me and she's not actually ready for that. Personally, I think the way that she acted with me was she was kind of the one that I would say is more initiating, contact with me. Um, I know I told this to a friend that like she's just trying to, get an advantage at work, which I'll say is possible, but I really don't feel that like that's what's going on here. But with that said, from the perspective of this channel, which is the main message is self-improvement, these are self-improvement vlogs or improvement vlogs as the title goes. To me, going through this experience, especially given my past and my history, feels like I'm going in the right direction. I recently got this promotion. I now have a decent schedule. I can feel my sleep coming along. I can see pieces kind of starting to align more in towards the way that I want my future to go. There's a lot of other stuff we need to work on, for sure. But it just feels like it's in the right direction. And for the record, I could go there. This girl could end up just not liking me after we meet or something, and nothing ended up happening. But I still feel like this is a good idea. That's how I feel personally. Um, so I really think I'm gonna go. I'm a little bit concerned at the fact that I'm going to only have 5 hours to sleep right now, and I'm gonna have to, if I drive, it's gonna be, it's not good to be tired when driving. And then the moment I get there, like I have to immediately sleep, wake up, and then go to work. So it's gonna be weird. And if I do that, by the way, I'm not gonna be able to upload the video, which is understandable. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of just figure out what's gonna happen. So I don't know. Um, I feel good about going to to this thing. It feels overall, my general feeling about it is positive. So I feel like I really want to do it. And I do hope I do it. I know tomorrow I'm going to have parts where I'm going to be thinking, there's going to be some issues, long drive, whatever. I'll figure it out. But I really do hope I go. So, me talking to me in the future, some way, somehow, please go. That's what I'd like to say. So I'll leave it with that. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Um, I might be a while until I upload a video again because I don't know how long I'm going to end up staying in Montreal if I do go. Um, and yeah, thank you for watching as always. This was a way longer video than I thought, which is not good for my sleep, but whatever. I'm here to share things. I'm here to always be honest, in my videos. I think there's a big value to that. So thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.